What's the difference between this guitar, this guitar, this guitar? Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about my top 3 guitars and some of the classic riffs that were played on these brands of guitars, and possibly some of these riffs wouldn't be the same if they were played on another guitar. So let's get into it. Now, I love my guitars like I would love my children. However, as I play guitar for a living, I tend to think of my guitars as a set of tools. So depending on what job I'm doing or what style I'm playing will depend on which guitar I use. So first off the bat, in no particular order, is my 2005 Fender Telecaster USA Deluxe. I absolutely love this guitar. It's extremely versatile. It's one of my go-to recording guitars and one of my main stage guitars when I'm playing live. So here's 5 classic Telecaster riffs that you may or may not have heard of. Now, the Telecaster is usually associated with country music. However, Telecasters have been made popular and famous from guitar players and bands from all different styles all around the globe. So here are some famous Telecaster players that you may or may not have heard of. Jeff Buckley, Danny Gatton, Andy Summers, Prince, Keith Richards, Keith Urban. So some tech specs for my guitar. This here again is my 2005 Fender USA Telecaster Deluxe. It's an elder body. The neck is made of maple and it's a maple fingerboard. And the pickups on this are the original SCN noiseless pickups. So next on the list is my 1993 USA Fender Stratocaster. It's a midnight blue edition, which I absolutely love. It's got a really great thick tone to it. So here's 5 classic Stratocaster riffs that you may or may not have heard of. Now, a lot of the time, Stratocasters are associated with blues music. However, again, Stratocasters have been made famous by guitar players and bands from all different styles across the globe. So here are some famous Stratocaster players that you may or may not have heard of. Eric Johnson, Dave Gilmour, Stevie Ray Vaughan, John Mayer, Eric Clapton, George Harrison. Now, some tech specs on my 1993 USA Fender Stratocaster. Again, this is an elder body. It's a maple neck with a rosewood fingerboard. And the pickups, I believe, are the Fender Lace Sensor pickups that were originally put in there. Again, I absolutely love this guitar. It's got a really thick sound to it. One of the things I look for as a live player and a session player is guitars that have good sort of mid to low end thickness. So it's always very hard to add that when you're recording, but if the guitar itself can have that in it just acoustically, that's a big win when shopping for guitars. Now, last but not least on the list is my 2001 Gibson Les Paul Standard. I absolutely love this guitar. One of the reasons I love it is the sustain. It's very hard to find guitars that have a long sustain, but this one I hunted around for quite a while when trying to buy my first Les Paul. So let's go through 5 classic Les Paul riffs that you may or may not have heard of. Now here's some tech specs for my 2001 Gibson Les Paul Standard. It's a really heavy guitar made from mahogany, and the pickups on the neck is a 490R and on the bridge is a 498T. And as I mentioned before, I absolutely love guitars that have thick low end and also sustain. So this one in particular has a great sustain, and it's really useful when recording rock and also when you're playing rock live, to have a guitar that can really sustain when you hold a chord or even a sort of long sustained single note. Well, that wraps up my top 3 guitars that I own. I would love to hear from you what guitars you own and what's your favorite guitar. I don't subscribe to any guitar being better than the other. I more look at it from what guitar is appropriate for the job or style that I'm using. As ever, please leave comments below and subscribe to these videos, and look forward to seeing you in the next video.